Yo, yo.
There it is.
Another week,
Mike's
another
like, I got this
crypto
little piece of
trend.
hair.
Wrong
sticking up.
side.
Welcome to Talkin Tokens on a Tuesday with
On a
your
Tuesday.
three hosts on simple cryptocurrency. My name is Adam M. Schwiller. We got Mike M. Schwiller, the big brother, on the side, and then Simple Crypt. He just says Simp. Simp. Isn't that a bad?
Simp Crypt.
It's short for simple.
Simp Crypto John over
I had
here
to make
on
a
the
name
right.
fit.
He's working with the new camera. We'll see how that shakes out. His microphone's not doing too hot. We're always got technology problems here at Simple Cryptocurrency, but our bigger problem is the markets.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about that because it's more blood. What is this? Probably like feels like 2 months going in on this downtrend right now.
Yeah.
Baby
Since
steps.
what? April something like the top. April something.
I think it was May, early May.
Yeah, May, the Elon Musk SNL TV show, and then it's never looked back. What a poopy. Here, let's take a look at just see where it's sitting at right now. Oh, we can put the banner on. Here we go. The banner.
Well, so no, actually April what? April like 14th. That's when it was at 64,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had some recovery.
Sorry about that. Yep. So
now
we're
we're just in this downward.
Kind of more of the
triangle.
same right now. The pain. I think there's probably more to come based on this last week's. We were hoping the triangle, this little triangle pattern, was going to do something. We were hoping that this channel was going to kind of like
look for a breakout
and
to a pinch point.
It's kind of made some moves down here. I got rid of the Wyckoff pattern because that's gone. That's long gone. That's not happening unless there's like some much larger scale version of that. But yeah, I guess right now we're kind of in these white lines. These are kind of like what we're currently probably tracking. But I wanted to talk about this yellow line.
Tell us about the yellow brick line.
The yellow brick road over here. I think there was some technical analysis that was saying this yellow line is like the overall
the line.
It's like the overall line for the current uptrend since the last like bull or big downturn here back in
that was the COVID
the
one,
pandemic.
Right?
Yeah, this is so the last bear market. So if it really, this is what at least one person's technical analysis was. Basically, the number's like 27,000.
I mean, that would kind of that's pretty scary, and I think that's what Chris was talking about, like 28.8. If you're going below that, we're going lower, and that and then that could be right where that line kind of intersects, right in that certain area.
Yeah, I heard a lot of big hedge funds and whales have buy orders in at the 20s, a few weeks ago. So they were kind of anticipating this, or they're forcing it. They're forcing it to go there.
Yeah, right.
It just seems like, there's not a significant amount of volume. I mean, even I thought this breakout would be, if this broke this, it was going to be like just completely devastating immediately. It didn't necessarily do that. I mean, it's been going down maybe like $200 a day on these are the daily candles here, but.
It did pop back up somewhat, like right at the bottom of that zone. We have that channel and
so we had those resistances of my like little Wyckoff pattern, and it is kind of staying in that little resistance packet,
right.
Right.
So right now,
somewhere
29.3. Like the bottom was like 29.3, and then but yeah, before we only dipped into the zone and we came right back out. Now we're like. Chopping water inside of the zone. Now we're at the bottom of the zone, chopping water. So,
is it the bottom though?
I thought wasn't Apple buying like $2.5 billion of Bitcoin or something.
Have they bought already?
That was an article, like a rumored article last week that I
Yeah,
think we brought
yeah.
up, or I think I sent around to you guys, but I don't know if that's been officially confirmed. I think that was someone like insider knowledge or leaked
Interesting.
documents, which that could be some kind of good information that puts it towards the other direction.
Looking
Yeah, I mean, John, I guess you said, is this the bottom? Like, you know, if we hit
I think you gotta wait.
this yellow line and then we
Yeah.
finished our correction and now we're kind of moving back up and that's just the overall uptrend has continued.
Right.
Just
So it's a
over
bearish
20%.
correction, not a bearish market per se.
Or
but I guess you got to watch what the chart tells you. If you get to this line and then you just blast through that down lower.
yeah, then I think most people are talking like 24 or like 22 is kind of like, there's this area here where we kind of had some resistance and support.
Oh, and we still haven't broke the Fibonacci like golden pocket. So
where is that?
From the overall, from the down,
it was like right around the 28. Yeah, 28 K. I mean, I don't know if you could pull it up from there, but Chris was showing that same, like, however he had it tracked out. I don't know if he had it on the weekly.
If you do a Fibonacci extension from the bottom to the tops, no, because that's like that 0.68 is right. No, I must have done something wrong. Maybe he did it from the top, from the retracement.
Yeah. Well, either way, I was listening to some technical analysis. I think it was last week. They said if it kind of goes lower than like 25-ish, it's probably going to sink a little bit lower, and we're kind of in for, you know, a little bit longer period of pain before it goes back up. But long term, you know, optimistic. I mean, they were still pretty optimistic. They're like, long term, it's still going to hit 100K. You know, previously they were projecting the 100K by the end of the year, but you know, if it ends up going the lower 20s, it's probably gonna be pushed out to, you know, early 2022 or so. So, you know, overall the trend is still the same. It's just a matter of, you know, how soon or how long this mini winter is, you know.
Yeah, it always feels like you want instant gratification.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
do something. True. But I mean, this is just, you just can't don't make a stupid decision where you lose a bunch of money and then it moves up the next day.
Yeah, I mean, dollar cost average. You bought at 50, you bought at 40, now you're buying at 30, now you're buying. So it's like you're just doing it backwards instead of doing it the opposite way. But
yeah, that's a good thing.
You know, I mean, it's better than just dropping 10 grand at like 50K. Or, you know, it's like, oh, well, because people are telling you that the analysis, and some of these people are saying, oh, you never see 50K again. You know, you're never going to see it again. Here it goes. You just blasted by it. Like, oh, see it. Because that's kind of how it was from 39. 1.5 billion from Tesla. Then, you know, people are just hopping on this train. Everybody's just think, and then it was just roller coaster to the top. Watch it drop.
So I think this is one where this is the 20, 50, 100, and 200 week averages, EMAs.
Okay.
So we fell pretty hard past 20. We didn't bounce.
You're sharing your screen.
Oh.
Look at your face.
There we go.
Thank
you. So we fell pretty hard past 20. You know, immediately that was the big initial drop. We kind of bounced and played around with the 50-day moving average, but we didn't rejected. Yeah, we got rejected off the 20, so that put it back down. So now we're aiming towards kind of this 100-day average, which is right around that 24,000 number that I think a lot of people are talking about. So if you look back at the bounces, like the last one, there you go. Fell through the red, kind of bounced, rebounded off the yellow, which is the 50, and touched the blue, which is that 200.
Right. Here you got a lot more.
Here it really got a little crazy down here. If we went down to the 200-day, I mean, my God, that would be terrible right now. That's at 16,000. But I think more likely
a bounce.
not that we're probably going to touch this blue line.
What is
I
that?
don't know.
25-ish.
Yeah, 25.
But that means you're breaking through the overall trend line. So
I
I
mean,
guess if you break that trend line, you
least
could
with the
say,
wick.
yeah, we're going into bear market. You know, maybe
I think
that's
at least with the wick, I think that it might drop and touch it, and then we're
okay.
kind of moving. If we close below this yellow line, like
Right. If you close
days,
below it, right, we got issues.
so I mean, I don't know. The yellow line, I saw that on someone's technical analysis, and I thought that was at least
I
positive.
mean, if you got the touch points, you should be able to kind of say it's a overall,
kind of
trend.
valid.
Yeah.
So there's a similar. I think most of the markets you'll see this, but there was someone saying that Doge was going to do the same thing because it's kind of got a similar. I drew that same line, but most of the altcoins you're going to see it like. Again, this is like an overarching. This is the theory that Doge is going to continue to
Right.
trend.
I mean, we
towards
saw a
like
little
50,
rebound with
50%.
what Elon changing his profile again. And
Yeah, and I think it's either that was Elon or that was this line because look, it hit the line. Maybe he knew and put the sunglasses on. It didn't
right,
hold.
yeah, just to get it to jump, and then
But I mean, look at that same day.
look, he's already kind of it's already kind of almost closed below. So
yeah. So maybe that is a fallacy on that person's hopes and wishes on that. So
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We got.
I mean, on the grand scheme of things, this little, what do you call it, bear market.
Bear correction.
Yeah, the bear correction.
Correction.
It's been what, a month and a half, maybe 2 months. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that long, right? So like, I think the silver lining to this is you got to look at it in the big picture, right? And I'm not just talking about like prices, but how do you handle yourself when it comes to something like this, right? It's like, well, how certain are you it's going to go up, right? Are you certain that it is? If so, prove it, right? You prove it to the world that you're just going to have diamond hands and you're going to stay pretty positive, and I think it's pretty applicable to like a lot of things in life. You come across obstacles. It's like, well, how do you handle that situation? Because if you can't handle,
you just bail out, hot potato, bail,
right? And not just bailing, but just like how you emotionally handle it, right? Like if you break down and if you can't even handle like a couple $1,000 problem, like how are you going to handle a couple $1 million problem, right? So this is like practice for the big show. That's how I like to look at things, right? If I can't handle this, like how can I handle?
Right, you got to drive the Kia
exactly
before you get in the Lambo.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If I can't handle this, like what does it say about me, right? So I think that's kind of the silver lining here. And to be fair, like a lot of these long-term crypto holders, they've been holding for a long ass time.
Right. So they've been through multiple.
Yeah. Look at the winter.
This is like spring break to them. They're just like, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I'm buying more. Everybody's like freaking out. It's like,
right. I mean, some people literally held for years. Yeah, they had a winter for years, and this is nothing. So we're getting like a mini accelerated version of it just to get a taste of it.
Well, that's what they said. It could be like, a smaller one inside the bigger one, and then it happens all like in this compacted or like a smaller amount of time.
Right. So I think this is just preparing us for like the big show. We got to get a taste of what a winter feels like. We didn't get the full thing, thank God, but you got to get a feeling of it and know what it's like. Get a little accelerated mini lesson.
Good analysis there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just wish you learned what you knew now. Like, I mean, that's like the proverb, basically. If you knew what you knew a couple months ago, not like if you knew the market was going to crash, but if you knew, at least if I knew, I would have handled some things a little differently. You could have made some better decisions. The best decision right now is just not panic selling and getting out of it and cutting your losses because you never know what's going to happen in 3 weeks. Even if it continues sideways or further down, you keep cost averaging. This is the long-term game. This is a 5-10 year plan.
Yeah, I mean, we've looked at
John's point, this month
such,
in 10 years is not.
So what is 3 months of 10 years?
I'm not trying to, buy something in the next month with this money. I'm trying to buy generational wealth with some of these things, for my
remember the
family.
First episode we did, I asked like, what were your goals, right? Like if you set a goal, it's like, we'll say it's like, 10 million or whatever. Well, like I said, this is preparing you for the big show. Like if you can't handle a couple $1,000 dip, how are you going to handle a couple $1 million dip later on, right? So
Yeah,
this
imagine putting in perspective for MicroStrategy with their billions of dollars of investment. Like they're seeing their investment just tank.
Right.
But
Well, they took the loan, remember? Yeah, they have to be able to pay back the loan, and if it drops under a certain amount, then that money that they bought or like used for the Bitcoin is just a negative to them. And they can't pay it back or something. It's going to be like this
is that true? They used a loan to buy it? I thought they had
took
like
out
funding from I thought they sold some of their stock, and then obviously
I thought they did a bunch of different ways, but I think one of them was where they took this loan, and then the loan, matures over time.
They can default. They can default on or if Bitcoin goes low enough, or what do you mean?
I think I don't know if it would default it or just they wouldn't be making money off it, so they would be bleeding rather than like making any money. I don't think you would actually default. I mean, you'd still probably be able to somewhat cover it, but
what price
I thought
did they
that
buy in it? Was it 30 something?
I mean, at least one of the big ones I think was around 30. Let me see, MicroStrategy.
Yeah, I mean, I could have that wrong. Just like
or was it earlier than that?
Oh, like my correction from last week, which I was talking about OFAC compliant blocks being mined by Marathon. I thought that had to do with clean energy when it was actually they're trying to censor transactions. So that was a little mix up on my part.
Gotcha.
All right, so here's a quick MicroStrategy. I mean, this is on Reddit, so who knows if it's real or not, but
Right. Take it with them.
So somewhere their first purchase was like 32. That sounds right.
10 million.
1 billion.
1 billion bit purchase.
Oh shit.
At 50. 15 at 50. Then they bought in like me, like a dum-dum.
Bought at the top. I love it.
Like 60. They're like, it's going up, buy more.
It's happening. So obviously he's underwater on his 1.2 billion. If that's real at 48. So
right. Well, it makes me feel a little bit better.
I mean, it's just think of the scale of the money that he's seen, go down, and if you look at it that way. So
MicroStrategy is selling corporate bonds to. Okay, maybe that was part of it. I thought there was something else that maybe they had.
Yeah, I know they did like more traditional like funding, at least for one of these purchases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess let's get back to some of the other coins if you want. I mean, everything's red for sure. I mean, Ethereum 1757, Litecoin's at 105. I haven't seen that under 100.
Oh my! I thought it was just going to go on too. I mean, that was at like topped out at like 450 or something, and then
right. Yeah, look at that. They said marked it here 411 was like.
Hey, that
I thought like 240 was like it was going to stay around there, and now it's.
Yeah, well, the recovery is going to be wild. I mean, what is that? 4x? It's almost 4x. So if you buy in now, it's a 4x return.
It's true.
And on the next rally, it's going to go higher than the previous all-time high. It's at least 4x.
It's definitely affected our mining. I mean, we're mining script, which.
Yeah, no, it is big time. I mean, and just your overall. I mean, if we held it, if you mined and held that coin, your profit over time. If you don't immediately sell it, you don't realize the profit. Right. I'm
kind of glad that I had sold one of my machines too, the SIA coin, just because that went back under like a cent.
Yeah, SIA coin. I mean, this is
like I bought it on March. I think I bought it on March like 15th, which was like as soon as it like started going up.
Link coin was at $52. I mean. BNB was almost like 700, wasn't it? I think it was like 700. Yeah, I was tracking the crap out of this one.
But that hasn't fallen as much. I mean, look how much it goes, and then it's still kind of like it's got that one line right there with a lot of support.
I got rid of my BNB. I'm about to.
I don't think it's going to recover. I'm not going to play with it as much because they've had a lot of like bad
issues
publicity with other markets.
I think they'll be fine long term, but just like I don't think they'll recover as well as all the others.
You probably have to watch for the shakeout, like wait for it to kind of like the other shoe to drop just to see what.
I think the general consensus I'm getting from like the market is like they're having a lot of like corporate like level issues. Hey, hold on. We got a comment from Dowit, my man. Hey guys, can you show the VWAP volume weighted average price line on the Bitcoin chart?
Sure.
I would actually really want to do that. I think that's like the the lines that come from the side, and I'm not even sure if I can on.
Oh yeah.
There might be a custom indicator. Let me see here. Volume weighted.
It's a handy dandy tool.
VWAP.
It might be this. No. The one I'm used to seeing comes from the side, like from the left or from the right.
Yeah. Huh.
I think it might be a limit.
We got the free version.
Yeah, they got the free 99.
Free 99.
How about you donate with some super chats that we don't have?
There you go. And then we'll do that.
I'll try to figure that out with Dawid. I know exactly what you're talking about, where it shows you basically the time people bought in, so you can see the volumes at the levels. So you can kind of naturally see support areas where it's going to where it's going to fall,
where it may drop
because it's
to,
everyone bought here and everyone bought here, so you can kind of see those gaps. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that.
Sweet.
Any other coin? I mean, your Shiba Inu coin.
How's Shiba doing?
I mean, it kind of really hasn't. It's kind of fallen off the cliff.
It kind of mirrors Doge. I mean, it kind of mirrors everything, but it
just started. It just never showed like it just started at the top. At least when this started trending. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I bought some Matic. That's like some of my worst assets are Matic and
really.
Jet. Yeah. Well, it's because I bought in like at the top. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't wait for the recovery. It'll be pretty dope. I bought Matic also recently.
I bought at the top and then I bought on the way down. So far, all I've done is buy on the way down. So it's not.
Take those steps down.
Yeah. All right. So unless you guys want to see another coin in particular, we can move on to some articles.
What about Ethereum Classic? What has that done? Remember, like everybody bought it.
I mean, I think it's just generally following the old,
Yeah.
Tracks Ethereum basically, right?
I mean, everything's
big buys in there.
Everything's peaked 2 months ago and dropped.
Oh yeah, XRP. What about? I mean, I guess nothing's really. People are thinking that could be big if it finally like settled the lawsuit stuff, but
it'll probably get settled this year.
So you remember we talked about the index, the 240 coin index last week?
Not really.
Yeah, the S&P stock one.
Yeah, there was an index of 200. Like they had 240 coins, but we didn't have the list of what coins were in there, and we were like, man, it must be like every coin. Apparently, CoinDesk found or got the list somehow. They didn't publish it, but they said Doge and XRP weren't in it.
Really interesting.
And they said Doge wasn't in it specifically because it doesn't have a white paper. So I think that's part of their like governance, that they must have like a published white paper for a coin. I guess because that makes sense. You don't want to have like some random altcoin that is just like scam coin. But Doge and XRP aren't in it.
Okay, that's surprising. XRP's not in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why XRP. Maybe that's because of the lawsuit or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. It's a little bit uncertainty, but I mean, I think it'll shake out just fine. Like, I think it'll be settled this year, to be honest.
This is another one I think at least me and Mike have been tracking pretty closely. The HNT. We're both waiting on miners to come in.
Is that the helium?
Yeah. We're still waiting on miners to come in and.
Okay.
Explain
the helium miners again. Is this a specific hardware from the company?
It's multiple different companies can make. It's kind of like Android you get certified to run
a Raspberry Pi setup that a company that has to get approved by Helium to then sell it. And then, they're just these kind of silent miners that witness and communicate between each other to make the network. And then you get paid for doing those transactions.
Yep. I want to look into that still.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're just waiting to see what happens. 6 months later, we'll get something. I think, Mike, you should be closer, at least a lot closer than I am. But
Yeah, I think mine said it's like thinking about getting ready to ship. So I think they were on batch like 2 to 3, and I think I'm on batch 4.
we'd print your paper, but we ran out of ink, so we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just like I have to run it through the printer again. But yeah, it's getting closer. At least they're doing pretty good updates and whatnot. And I have 2 different companies, so we'll just see which one comes first.
Okay. Pretty dope.
Speaking, I might botch this, but I did see another MicroStrategy Michael Saylor interview where he was talking about the 4 quadrants of cryptocurrency market, but the 4 ways to think about cryptocurrency. So he was basically saying Bitcoin is like property,
Ethereum is
land.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin itself is like land. Then you have like stable coins is like basically effectively comparable to just cash, fiat money, but in the crypto world. I mean, that's effectively what it is. It's a tool to transmit value over long distances, but it's similar to fiat coin in that because it's not meant to make more money. It's just a transactional thing. Then they said some of your altcoins are like software. So you have applications that are doing different things. So like HNT is kind of like a software.
Right. Saya for like hard.
Yeah, there's internet
hardware,
companies, there's storage companies, there's different decentralized software. And then there's business stock, like Ethereum would be like a business where it's like if you equate those to like more market, comparing those to people or talking to people about cryptocurrency and describing those 4 quadrants, it's easier for them to be like, oh, okay, I get it. Would you buy
compartmentalize it?
If you buy land, he was describing it like if you bought land in London, you keep that land for 300 years for multiple generations. Like you don't never sell it. You build on it and you lease it, but you never sell it. That's Bitcoin. You never sell your land because it's always going to be the most valuable of all things. Right. Stablecoin, you're just getting, a transactional thing. It's just a way to send value. Ethereum, if you bought into Google, Google might not be here 50 years from now. Maybe it'll be here for 10 years now. Or there could be companies startups that ramp up and ramp down, and they're only competitive until they're not. So like those are kind of some of the altcoins. And then there's technology software, like, Android is a software. So that was just a way to like kind of equate that to some people that may not understand the market. So I thought that was a good little comparison.
Yeah, you should find that. Was it a video or article or what?
Yeah, it was it was actually, I think, on one of the altcoin daily shows or one of the videos that streamed right after that. But it was a video of another interview that he was doing. So I don't know what that interview was, but I'm sure I could find
okay.
I could link the article if you're interested.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that dude's he's pretty.
He knows what he's doing. Seems like.
Right. We'll find out.
Even though he lost maybe money in the short term, but I think it's the long term.
So here's some articles I found. FTX. We talked about FTX I had them in my cryptocurrency mining or cryptocurrency fantasy. What do we call that thing? The fantasy whatever.
Fantasy
tournament.
Yeah. It was the crypto fantasy tournament, pretty much.
Crypto fantasy draft. That was what it was. Currency draft. And FXT. So it's a derivative exchange market for cryptocurrency, but I guess they're trying to get some more funding. He's just making a lot of money. They were talking about how it's been pretty successful. $900 million in Series B rounds for stock in his company. So
okay.
FXT, they're spending a lot of money getting in, the mainstream national, like we talked about, they're on the Miami Heat stadium.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so there's I think they're just becoming more and more popular. This article is about Robinhood. Robinhood's kind of outside of the cryptocurrency world, but they are in the stock world. They do a little bit of cryptocurrency. I think you can buy Bitcoin on there, and maybe Doge or whatever. But this was just saying that their expected IPO coming later this month was valued under what the experts thought. And that was surprising. I think that's just the current state of this. Everyone's kind of down on it a little bit. So if they did it a month ago, they would have probably been through the roof. Maybe that's why those estimates were higher, but yeah.
I mean, is that like kind of like Coinbase? I mean, they did theirs and it was like high, and then just everything kind of fell off.
Well, I mean, this is like before the IPO. So this is like the IPO's evaluation of the company. The Coinbase, I mean, I think most IPOs, once they hit the public sector where you can actually buy it and not be on the part of the IPO, generally drop. Like,
right, because then people can like dump their shares. So it's like you're given these shares from the company, and then people want the money.
Yeah, it's buy the, sell the news or whatever.
Right, buy the rumor, sell the news.
This was just
grabbing water for a sec.
Yeah, sure. This was just talking about some of the volatility of Bitcoin right now as it currently stands. You can see this yellow line was just a chart of its expected volatility at the moment, so very high comparatively to the history.
What does it say we could possibly touch on the low side at the moment?
Well, it doesn't project forward, so
Okay.
I mean it's downtrending a little bit here. So
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, this is talking about Bitcoin futures. So the futures are trending down, which I guess is just saying most people, it's making institutional investors a little bit cautious. The drawdown, I think this is Bitcoin coming off of the exchanges.
Right now, fear and greed index.
John, you
It's
need to
bad.
speak into your mic. It's hard to hear you.
Oh, you said they were coming off of exchanges, like into wallets, though?
I think that's
Does
what
it
this
say?
was trying to say. Decline from the peak of 60,000 roughly. This is saying chart shows Bitcoin price and drawdown percent decline from the peak.
Well, weak institutional demand, that'll do it too. I remember everybody's like, oh, everybody's buying, and then just kind of like, now they're like, we got to wait and see what is like, the government's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is saying there's less people pulling them off the exchange. I think that's what this is trying to say.
Less people
So
pulling them off.
Less people pulling their coins to their own private wallets means people keeping them on the exchange, which means they're potentially willing to sell it or move it.
Yeah.
This is indicating weak in this institutional demand, kind of like what we said earlier.
When was this written? Is this recent?
Yeah, I mean, this is July today.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
About
I
5
saw a
hours
video.
ago.
Yeah. Well, I saw a video. I think like a few days ago. They were saying there's indicators that it's about to bull because, like, huge number of people putting them into private wallets. There's institutional interest, etc. It's like exactly the opposite of what you're saying here in this article.
well, I mean,
So I
I
guess
think you can. If
everybody
these are all
interprets the data
applied
different.
facts. Yeah, I mean, I guess you look at a set of analytics, you can come to your own conclusions based on what
Yeah.
you
Right.
see. But
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
And are
everyone's
you
got their own
biased in one
blinders on.
way, or are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, or are you not?
there's not a true number that says this is the truth. Like this is
Yeah.
what people are analyzing.
So the fear and greed index for Bitcoin right now, I mean, it's at 10. Extreme fear. I mean, that's like,
it still is. It's been there for a
Yeah.
while. Hasn't it?
yeah, last month was 23, so now it's gone down 13. I mean, that's Yesterday 19, last week
A
21.
lower number is
worse.
more fearful. Yeah.
Yeah, more fearful.
Interesting. All right,
23,
we'll see.
21, 19, and 10. So yeah,
That
everybody's
was
like
good.
super scared right now.
Yeah,
But I guess
So,
that's
yeah,
when you're supposed to buy. I guess
exactly. Buy when they're
could be.
fearful.
well, that's when you can make the most money, right? Is if you can play it right. So this is just saying, Dogecoin's falling off because people are getting spooked and they're all the retail goobers buying Dogecoin. I mean, but it's just so hard to say this because every altcoin's getting crushed. So it's like
Right now, and a lot of leverage. There's more leverage than ever. Everybody's playing with 100% leverage. Like, all right, here we go.
This was I think there's a whole other article on this one, but Circle, one of the USDC stable coins, just published that it's 61% backed by cash and cash equivalents. It was just, I guess, a little bit of transparency on what they're holding to stabilize the coin in the background. I think there's a whole different article on that itself.
I just posted an article today in the Facebook group with that. Was it Circle? Is that the name of the company?
Yeah, Circle. Yeah.
Yeah, they're working with MasterCard right now to come up with testing to kind of integrate, USDC and credit card payments, stuff like that.
Nice.
So.
Well, I just received my Coinbase crypto debit card, so I'm planning to use that, buying USDC, keeping it on there, and then that will earn me 8% interest.
8?
And then whatever I want to, I believe it was 8. It's either 8 or.
That sounds right. It's something pretty high for stable.
I'm pretty sure it's like 8%, and then I can spend that through the debit card, and then that'll earn me crypto rewards back on every purchase.
Wow.
So if you just put in, like, not your
you can
savings,
tell it what you want to spend.
A nice amount of money that will earn interest more than your normal checking account.
Yeah.
And as long as you can truly use it wherever you can, I guess it's wherever Visa is accepted.
Yeah, it's a Visa card, and it just you specify what crypto you want to spend. So you can spend Bitcoin, you can spend Doge, you can spend. So obviously, I just want to spend the dollar, stable coin.
Wow, that's crazy. So when you submit coins into that account, can you say submit it from a private wallet or?
Well, so it's pretty much just like your Coinbase account. Yeah.
Oh, so
it is whatever you have in Coinbase. You can just specify, say, I want to spend Doge, and you take that coin, and whatever Doge you have, you could spend. If you wanted.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if you sign up for the card on Coinbase, and then you just have to kind of wait. I was on the wait list probably for like a month or two, and then I just got invited, and then they sent me the card.
Wow.
I also just received my BlockFi Visa credit card, which also pays me back 1.5% in Bitcoin back.
Yeah, not bad.
But that's a traditional credit card on that
right,
side.
That's a traditional credit card. So
with Bitcoin rewards, and you get more BlockFi interest on certain coins just by being a holder. I think it bumps up your interest rates for BlockFi interest just because you're a holder.
Wow. Okay.
So that one too, you have to get on a waiting list. The more things you send out, the more people sign up for it, then the quicker you can get it. But yeah, I just got my card. So just using that anywhere. Then I'll pay off my bill with my Coinbase card to get more rewards on top of my rewards.
So how long was your wait total?
BlockFi was probably like a month or two. Coinbase was like 2 to 3.
2 to 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And you accelerate your wait if you get rewards, or if you had reference.
If you have references, yeah. So I was at like 300,000 in line, and then I got some references, and then I got bumped up to like 5,000. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Huh.
So kind of cool. It's cool that the Bitcoin BlockFi card is like it's got a little B on it, and it's like a matte black, and it's metal. So it's pretty, it's pretty official. That you just like boom. In the first 3 months, up to I think $100 limit or something, which is kind of stupid. But they were advertising 3.5% back in the first 3 months, up to $100 reward in Bitcoin,
Okay.
and then after that 1.5. So, but talking about BlockFi too, we just had I sent you guys that article about how New Jersey's like calling like cease and desist for BlockFi users.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ooh,
What was the reason again?
what was that?
What was the reason?
I don't know. I didn't get that deep into
It
it. I
said
don't know. If
it said they were they're just not like
They don't know what
physically
to do with it.
licensed in New Jersey to be a
Financial.
to sell
Yeah.
what the fuck are they called? Fucking motherfuckers.
To sell what?
Securities.
Like,
Securities.
oh, securities, okay.
They're not licensed in New Jersey the way a security company should be licensed in New Jersey. So like I don't care if you're in this fast evolving crypto market, like you're not like you got to follow the rules. And so they're just being dicks and shutting it
D-bags.
down.
I mean,
But
that's
they
New
said
Jersey for you.
they can't like provide
Land
new
of the
services
regulation.
to new people right now. They're still doing it for the existing customers.
Right. But you just can't
It's at the
sign up
moment.
anyone new.
Gotcha.
And it's only New Jersey, so who really gives it?
Right, but
I guess New Jersey's
yeah,
a lot of
are other
people.
states going to try to do that? Like they'll be like, oh, California, or like you know,
Maybe.
Well, I think New Jersey just has some wacko laws. I mean,
Oh yeah.
can't even pump your own gas.
right, yeah, it's just New Jersey. It's just they're weirdos. So.
All right.
Here's one I didn't know necessarily about this about Binance or BNB, but they burn their own coin to keep the coin price consistent.
Wow.
And this was so they burned 1 million BNB, the most they've ever burned.
It's got like infrared thermometers and talk about burning.
Pizza oven.
Burning. Are you looking at burning?
That's funny.
So 20 million BNB. Yeah, the remaining 16 million BNB unlocked. Basically, like they have a certain quota that they have to get to, but their goal, yeah. See, here's the 13th percent of the promised amount. They said it's going to take 27 years to get to the burn that they've, I guess, designated inside of the token. So they're going to like expedite the burn rate. I don't know. I guess it's all in order to try to keep the way the token works and how it's created. They're just trying.
So it doesn't fluctuate price wise like that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it seems like it hasn't dropped off that much. So they're like, dude, okay, it's going to drop, burn 1 million, and then it just stays where it is.
I don't know if that's necessarily the way it works, but yeah, I think there's some. I mean, it's getting created.
I mean, it's just supply and demand, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if there's less supply,
you get BNB by holding BNB on BNB. It's like
okay,
it's getting created through the use of the exchange for some people. So then, as those coins are created, there's also a destruction method to keep it like not so inflationary.
okay.
This is just another at the daily HODL.
HODL.
Analysts predicting rally for Ethereum 430%. They're looking at the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart. So this is Bitcoin versus or Ethereum versus the Bitcoin chart price. And they think they're in like this next wave here. They're projecting this gray line and flipping the dominance over Bitcoin at least.
The flippening. That sounds like a bad Stephen King movie or book.
The flippening.
Flippening.
So peak price $10,000 by next year. 10,000 Ethereum by next year would be amazing.
Huh. Wow.
So
yeah, I believe it.
I mean, that's what they're projecting here. So
yeah, at each rally, it tends to like almost double the previous all-time highs. During each crazy pump. So I mean, I think the all-time high-ish. So if you double that, it's going to be around 8K. It's pretty close to 10.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Reasonable.
This is just, I think this is actually the chart that I got. I was talking about that line. So this was the Dogecoin line that someone was talking about. And they were projecting this nice aggressive bounce. I think this line has passed, but it was July 19th. So maybe it didn't necessarily work out the way they thought it would. I thought this was interesting that Charles Hodkinson created another project for a stablecoin. And I don't even know how you produce it, but it's called DJade or DJed. I'll call it DJade for now. But effectively, the concept is it's a stable coin that behaves like an autonomous bank that buys and sells stable coins for a price in the range that it's pledged to a target. So it's basically the stable coin is holding cryptocurrencies in its reserve in order to be a stable coin. So it's like instead of using fiat, it's now using crypto.
So crypto is using crypto as its own backing.
I mean, I think that's effectively the way what I was gathering from this white paper. And he hasn't released the whole thing, but that's that's where he's at. He's like, how can we make stable coins cryptographic and transparent? And so now they're automating the fact that it's going to be stable.
And not relying on fiat, because that's the whole point. It's kind of like if you're moving away from it, I guess.
It's stable in the sense that it's stable through its other peers, but it's stable, which is, I mean.
Cool idea. I would want to look more into that.
And it's not associated with Cardano, but Charles Hodkinson's
he's the maker of it, right?
Yeah, this is a new project.
I wonder how any more word on the Alonzo fork and like the smart contracts for ADA maybe. But I guess like right now the whole market is just kind of like overarching, like it looks over. They're just cloudy day.
I think it also said that he's going to use this stablecoin in his Cardano smart contract. So somehow it's like related to the overall product. I mean, of like.
I thought maybe they had some sort of correlation or connection. But.
Yeah, I mean, this will eventually just be their tool to make contracts. Plutus in Cardano's smart contract. So I don't know. It's smart.
If you want,
stablecoins are here to stay for sure. And this is like, you can read this little, he put on like 2 or 3 pages of the white paper on his Twitter account. So
cool. Yeah.
I sent a link for a funny, it's like a parody YouTube, know when to HODL. It's like supposed to be like that one gambler song, you gotta know when to hold 'em. Yeah. I don't know if you want to play like a clip of that. It's kind of funny.
I don't know if sound will come through my machine, but let me see.
Oh, okay.
I could put on transcripts.
I'll sing along to it.
You never count your crypto when you're sitting at the laptop.
Hold on, I have something's. Oh, my loop back. Loop back. Turn loop back off.
Staring at the common bread regardless. The boredom overtook us. He began to speak. He said,
can you hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it.
It's all I've made of life. Buying bitcoins in the basement. Knowing what the trends were from the way they did then rise. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see your worried faces. I'll give you my opinion, not financial advice.
And again, this is not financial advice.
So I settled down my panic, and my sorrow turned to mellow. Then I rolled a cigarette and tried to find a light. And the chat got deadly quiet. And the feed began to buffer. Said if you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold on, know when to fall on, know when to buy the dip, know when
Go.
Never count your money. When you're sitting at the laptop, there'll be time enough for counting when the correction's done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You gotta know when to HODL and know when to FOMO.
Yep. Not bad.
Not too shabby. Let's see. We already looked at that guy.
I'll post that up in the group just so people want to. Just a little funny thing to poke fun at ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about all the links I really had. We already talked about the BlockFi. We talked about the crypto crap. Here, a little
What's
update
just
on
the
my
gem?
Shiba coin. Shiba coin, I'm at 94,000. Shiba
Nice.
coin,
Oh, so what you got now? Like $1?
53 cents. Thank you very
Wow.
much.
How long have you been mining for?
I guess it's been about a week. I started it last show, I think, or like a day before
Yeah.
last show.
You gotta
So-
get yourself a GPU.
50 cents.
Yeah,
Every
John,
2 weeks.
what's the status of your stuff? Still coming in?
No, I got my computer. It's an Alienware, and yeah, it's mining. I get a
Nice.
payout every 2 days. So 60,000. What is it? 600,000.
600,000. You're getting 600,000 every 2 days.
Yeah.
So what? So that's like $4.
I don't know. Maybe you can do the math. I'm doing
Shiba.
future math, number crunching.
How
where
many?
there's
How many?
zeros.
How many?
So right now it's worth 0.00. There's 5 zeros,
Right, 5 zeros.
5
yeah.
zeros,
Here.
and then a 7 or 6.
6,000,000. That's worth $3.50 at 600,000.
And you're mining through it at hash, like Ethereum's hash, or are you
Yes.
doing like something else?
Yes.
So what is your mega hash that you're doing?
It's like 90 something.
90.
Floats somewhere between 80 and 90.
So yeah, you're getting 60. Yeah, you're getting 600,090 a day. This is saying you're getting 600,000 a day, so you must be a
What?
little bit lower.
Nah, it's about half that. Yeah, I'm getting half that.
Then you must be lying about your hash rate, brah.
Maybe. Are you saying
But
my
it sounds
hash
like
rate is low?
you're making like $2 to $4 a day off of just a gaming computer, which sounds pretty sweet. So
Hey, so yeah, not bad overall.
congratulations, welcome to the mining world. You're in it now,
Yeah, I'm
and
going.
you're
by
getting it for free 99.
Yeah, so I'm going by future values, right? I mean, today's value is today value, but I think some of those decimal places will move. So
You're gonna have like 1 billion Shiba coin. You know?
we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, it's $600,000 coins every 2 days. That's gonna add
Yeah.
up pretty dang quick. Like, what the
Right,
hell?
but see, 1 billion when you have 1,000 trillions, that's not maybe that much.
But if you have 1 billion and it moves a decimal point, that's $40 instead of $4.
I think it's gonna move
Yeah.
more than a decimal point.
Well, it's already moved
Yeah,
the
we'll
decimal
see.
point in one direction, the other way. So it's got. I don't know. That's cool. Welcome to the mining life. That's cool. I actually had hash boards fail this week. Not fail, but I had some problems. I had to disable. I disassembled all of my miners and cleaned them out completely. Like WD'd them. Like took a paintbrush and with like a clean paintbrush, but just like wiped off all the bugs and guts and stuff that were getting sucked up into them. And
What was
I don't
wrong?
have that problem.
Is it not getting the right cooling because of all the debris?
I think the dust and stuff was getting all the clouding up all the surface area of the
To dissipate the heat.
yeah, and I think it was making some of the chips like hash weird or like it was shorting out or doing something weird. So I cleaned them all out. They're like working great now. It was like I wish I would have done that a little while ago.
I think you're
noticed
supposed
a
to do it
difference
like
in the
every month. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
probably do that pretty often. I have my computer intake sitting right on like the air duct, so it's like
It's like-
blowing.
sucking the cold air in,
yeah,
blowing the
With
cold
the
air through.
debris being blown in there, probably.
yeah, and I think mine being outside in the garage is just like more susceptible
I mean,
to dust and dirt.
yeah,
and
right.
obviously
Bugs,
mosquitoes.
right.
And
I
like
don't have
dumbass
bugs. I have
cicadas.
dust. I have dog hair. I have, but some of that other stuff, maybe not like leaf particles and kids wrappers, bubblegum wrappers. You never know.
So you guys are using a GPU, right? No.
The ASICs. The ASICs.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Is there?
Here,
like,
I can
some
take
sort
you.
of-
Do we want to go down to the
Yeah, do
let's-
a live
miner
mining.
room?
I mean,
All
is there
right,
some
here
sort
we
of
go.
software you can download that will tell you, I guess, all the internal temperatures and all that? I'm assuming there
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah, I mean, you run the you run the user
There's
interface.
a web address for every miner that you put in your configuration, but it also tells you chip temperature and fan speeds and all the health metrics. Which I can.
Hopefully, I don't lose you Wi-Fi, but here we go. So, welcome. You probably, I don't know if you can hear it, but.
Yeah. Ooh.
A little bit of the setup
Looks like a little Christmas tree over there.
on this.
1, 2, 3.
Sweet.
Can you hear it, or is it just
Yeah,
like,
we can hear it.
No, your Google headphones are actually doing a pretty good job of canceling the noise, but we can
like
kinda hear it.
canceling the noise?
Yeah.
Like in the background when I talk? Like when I talk or something?
Yeah,
like
you
kinda
can hear
like-
the whine. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad. Go back to mining, buddies. Make the money.
So yeah, John, here's like an example of what I see. So like you can see the hash rate up here. That's the current hash rate. And then this is all like the chip temperature. So this is what you focus on. You also focus on hardware errors. So like that's kind of every hardware error is basically a wasted.
It's like a
amount of
miscalculation.
power. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Huh.
So
Is there any way to overclock it?
yes.
Yes.
Nice.
So yeah, you can either get firmware, you can get like a third-party firmware that will do a whole bunch of different stuff. Like this is the most basic, but I can just turn it up. Like it comes pre-clocked at like
384.
84 or something in there. Yeah. So I'm already overclocked, but clearly you can go much higher, but there's only a certain point where it starts like obviously having more hardware errors because it's getting hot. Yeah. It's like something's wrong with it, but I'm assuming when it gets wintertime, since we haven't really had them in the wintertime, you could run them up a little higher as long as you're keeping the temperatures down. So,
and the money that you're offsetting with your power bill being so high now will probably be the opposite. Then.
Right, because I'll be pulling air into the house from the garage, heat in my basement. So.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So that's
nice.
Cool deal.
Yeah, guys.
Deal.
Another good one in the books.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Whoever's listening, we got a live viewer almost the whole time on YouTube. Must be Dawit, my main man. We'll see you at work
Thank
tomorrow.
you, sir.
Hey, we're on our road to 500 subscribers. Please hit likes.
Yep.
Hit
Subscribe, comment.
Facebook
Thank
group.
you.
Although we didn't pick up any, we actually lost a follower on Facebook this week. So.
Ooh. It was a bot.
Someone was like, I don't like this crap, but we are trying to do our 500 follower giveaway on Facebook. So we got 90 to go.
What are we giving away again? Have we made a decision?
500,000 Shiba coin.
Okay.
That's like $3.
$3.
Yeah, we'll mine in the honor of the 500th follower.
There you go. Yeah. See, between my MacBook mining and John's hardcore Alienware mining.
They'll mine for 500 days and whatever the total is. Yeah.
Well, maybe not that. That'd be that'd be like $200, wouldn't it? You said 500 days, $4 a day. I don't care what that is. I'll take that. But yes, we're on our way. So we are on our way. All right, people. Let's roll this money.
All right, y'all. Have a good week.
Adios.
Keep hodling.
Be safe.
Coins.
Keep
Be blessed.
hodling.
You gotta know when.